Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you through the abundant grace and mercy that you showed us, you allowed us to come together to conduct the city's business. And Father, I pray that you help us to come in together with the spirit of unity, to treat each other as brothers and sisters. Even though we may disagree, let us not disrespect or disengage from one another, but work together in the spirit of unity. We say a special prayer for all our brothers and sisters in the armed forces who are serving at home and abroad, and a special prayer of our first responders. On every shift, on every call, Lord, be with them and watch over them as they watch over us. We're so careful to give you the praise, the honor, the glory you do. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
Commissioner Wilson?
Here.
Mayor Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Firstner?
Here.
Commissioner Oliver?
Here.
All right, we have no presentations or proclamations. Next will be the staff report.
Nothing at this time.
All right. Next will be public comments. I have two under the first part of the meeting here. Jim Moyer.
Good evening. My name's Jim Moyer, Dr. Jim Moyer. I live in Arden Park, and I want to continue the conversation that we started last commission meeting in regard to the possibility of an Ocoee Mayor's Veterans Advisory Council. And I'm using the Orange County Veteran Advisory Council as an example, and I want to explain what they're doing. And it's far more than just events. And it's far more than helping veterans get to the Department of Veterans Affairs. They have a leadership team that's made up of 16 people, and the Orange County Veterans Service Office is just one of those 16. And they have a list of veteran service organizations, and the Department of Veteran Affairs is just one of 16 VSOs. There's a lot we could do here in Ocoee. Now, I understand we're a smaller city, but there are other cities in Florida. For example, Sebastian has about 27,000 population. They have a Veterans Advisory Council. Dunedin has about 37,000 population, but they have a Veterans Advisory Council. Our city of Ocoee is rich and has a history of veterans right here. The street right out here, named after Captain Bluford Sims. The house right over here, named after General. And what I'd like to see is to continue this discussion about the possibility of an Ocoee Mayor's Veterans Advisory Council. I will do anything I can to help make that come to fruition. The next Orange County Veteran Advisory meeting is this Thursday at 1:30, December 5th at 1:30. I'll be at that. I've been at the last several meetings, and I'd just like us to come together, form a council, and do all we possibly can do for the veterans of Ocoee. Thank you for your time, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Dr. Moyer. Noreen Dorkin.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Noreen Dworkin, Editor-in-Chief of Vox Populi. We're a digital news site, and we cover government and politics. So hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. So first, I just want to start out by commending Ocoee for all the good things that it's done to heal after the 1920 Ocoee massacre. You've done such strong work, good work with the Ocoee Remembrance event, with the apology, and with the establishment of Unity Park. That's such a gorgeous park, and I was at the ribbon cutting there. So there's also a new memorial there, which I was recently at, and it's beautiful. My question to the commission is, why isn't there going to be a public unveiling of that? There was a big deal made about Unity Park, and at the ceremony, much was made about the environmental impact of the park, but not a whole lot was talked about why the park was called Unity Park. And it's supposed to be like a symbol of the city coming together. Now, this is a wonderful memorial, and it's got the names of everybody who lost their lives or was, driven out of the city. And I think without a public ceremony to unveil it, very few people are going to know that it's there. So my question is, why isn't there going to be something public to acknowledge that? And I'll wait for an answer.
There was.
There was a ceremony for the descendants.
No,
that
it was
wasn't
open to the public.
November 2nd,
There was public people there.
4:30.
It was there at 4:30.
Was it announced?
Yeah.
I put on calendar.
We never got a press release about it.
It was open to the public. It was there. People were there. Somebody knew.
Okay. Apologies.
Okay. Thank you. All right, next, that's all the ones for that issue. Right now, we need to go to the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wilson to approve the consent agenda. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Kennedy. Any more comments? Let's vote. All right, we have item number 16, first reading of ordinance. First reading of ordinance for MDTL Enterprise LLC Property Conservation Tract Annexation.
Like me to proceed?
Yeah.
An ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, annexing into the corporate limits of the City of Ocoee, Florida, certain real property containing approximately 9.9 acres located on the east side of Ocoee-Apopka Road, beginning approximately 2,300 feet north of the intersection of Ocoee-Apopka Road at Palm Drive, then approximately 508 feet east of Ocoee-Apopka Road and assigned parcel ID numbers 07-22-28-0000-00-087, pursuant to the applications submitted by the applicant, finding said annexation to be consistent with the Florida statutes, the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, the Ocoee City Code, and the Joint Planning Area Agreement, providing for and authorizing the update of the official city maps, providing direction to the city clerk, providing for severability, prevailing in the event of any inconsistency, and providing for an effective date.
That it?
That's it.
All right, that'll be back on December the 17th for the second reading. Anybody in the public who wants to make comments on it, that'll be the time. All right, item number 17. First reading of ordinance for the annual comprehensive plan text amendment to adopt 5-year schedule of capital improvements and update the capital improvement element.
An ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan as adopted in 1991 as amended in order to comply with Section 163.3177, subparagraph 3, Florida statutes, amending the capital improvements element of the comprehensive plan, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
All right, same thing. It'll be back on December the 17th for the public to make comments. December the 17th. All right, let's go to second reading of ordinances. Item number 18, second reading of ordinance for citywide golf cart. Police Chief Ogburn.
Good evening, Commissioner, Mayor. Are you going to read it?
Go ahead. You gonna-
Sure, would you like me to?
Let him read it first, and then you can make
Happy to. An ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, adopting a new Article 3 of Chapter 153 of the City Code, authorizing the use of golf carts and low-speed vehicles within the city limits of Ocoee, defining terms, providing for the regulation of golf carts and low-speed vehicles, including the hours of operation, age regulations, and posting of signs to designate public roadways for golf cart use, establishing terms and procedures for violations and penalties, providing for severability, providing for the ordinance to prevail over any inconsistency in the city code, providing for codification, and providing for an effective date.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners again. With the passing of this ordinance, please understand that my position is the safety of all involved, meaning golf carts and the traveling motorists. The ordinance is going to allow golf carts to travel on roads that are posted 30 miles an hour and below. I would like to implement this in phases and not all at one time. And the reason I would like that is because I would like to learn the behavior of the golf carts in the downtown area. So with that first phase, I would like to implement from Kissimmee to the west, Lakeshore to the east, Orlando to the south, and Bluford to the north. And my concerns are the traffic flow and the interaction with these golf carts and the lack of safety features that these golf carts are going to have, as well as how these golf carts are going to be received downtown with the parking. People are normally parking in parking spaces. If you see a golf cart there, that's going to force someone to have to go find someplace else to stay. Also, with that, I would not like to see, or we would not like to see golf carts parked on the curbs or on the grass. Another concern with the golf carts parking like that is there's no way to identify who owns these golf carts because they're not registered. So there are a lot of behaviors that we would like to get under control before we go and implement the second phase of this golf cart ordinance.
All right, Commissioners, comments?
I have just a question. This phase approach, have you identified any timeframes or time limits per phase, particularly this first phase?
We would like to implement it for a 30-day trial period in the areas that I just identified between Orlando and Lakeshore. I'm sorry, Lakeshore and Kissimmee, Orlando, and Bluford. Yes.
For 30 days?
Yes, sir.
You think that would be enough time to really capture behavioral data as far as traffic flow and the interaction with golf carts?
I would hope so. If we have to extend it, I would ask for an extension. But hopefully within that 30 days, because we got the holidays coming up, people will be out of school, kids will be out of school, and just want to get the behavior down. So hopefully, if we need to extend it, we will.
In interest of public safety, I think that just to capture that kind of data, I would like to see a little more time put into that study to determine those behaviors from both sides of it, because not only we talked about operating golf carts, we also talk about operating motor vehicles as well that's interacting with something new to the roads. I think that if we can look at maybe expanding the time a little bit more, that may give us a little more data and give you more information to work with when it comes to implementing this in the next phase.
Okay, we can take that into consideration.
Well, I know in Winter Garden, they park in the regular parking spots.
I don't know how long Winter Garden has had it, but I'm pretty sure there's some education involved in that, and we would like to get that started here as well.
Have you asked for any information from them?
I have, and it has not been positive. You know, it's golf carts all over the place, you know, so.
Yeah. All right, anybody else?
I do.
I don't have any questions.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Rich.
I don't have any questions.
Oh,
Go ahead.
the ordinance as written doesn't contemplate this phased implementation, or does it?
I assume that's directed to me, if I can answer.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
That's a good question, and it does not specifically say phased approach. However, there's a lot of discretion given to staff in it, so I would direct you to Section 153-22, where it says that in accordance with Section 316, 212 Florida statutes, the city shall post signs allowing operation of golf carts on golf cart permitted roadways, and that can designate either an individual street or an entire neighborhood. And then subparagraph B is I think, what gives Chief Ogburn this discretion. Before posting such signs, the city shall make a planning determination that a reasonably prudent person driving a golf cart in accordance with this article may safely travel on or cross the public roadway. In making this determination, the city shall consider factors including the speed, volume, and character of motor vehicle traffic using the public roadway. So I would suggest that language gives Chief Ogburn a lot of discretion in making this planning level decision as to how these golf carts can be safely implemented.
Thank you. I don't like the concept of passing an ordinance and continuing to study. I think we either do one or we do the other. And I guess what I'm hearing from you, Chief, is you don't think this ordinance is ready.
Well, Commissioner, I would say that in your subdivisions that are lower than 35, individuals can utilize their golf carts. It's just in this area right here. We have a school down the street where we will have cars and kids and golf carts trying to utilize this highway at the same time. So we kind of want to learn that behavior before we just go and say, open a carte blanche and just let people just drive when and wherever they want to. But again, there are certain roads that golf carts could never cross, and those roads are still there: Clark Road, Colonial, any road that's posted over 30 miles an hour. It's just we would like to study the downtown area a little bit more before we just open it up. But the subdivisions, if you are a gated community, 25 miles an hour, you're more than welcome to use your golf cart in there. There is no regulation. That's not a trial basis in that area. It's just this area right here.
So to be clear, you're comfortable that you have the authority and the discretion, as the city attorney said, and as this ordinance is written, you're happy that you can implement a phased plan?
Yes, sir, I am.
Any additional concerns with that?
Again, my primary position is the safety of the operators and the vehicles. Yes, sir, I do feel comfortable with that.
Okay, thank you. Would we then have to make a motion conditioned upon a phased implementation?
No.
Okay.
He wants to make another comment on that.
I should have added one more point, and that is the language that I read from our ordinance actually comes from the state statute, and so the language is almost identical. So he has to make this planning level determination, regardless whether it's in our ordinance or not.
Okay, my concern is strictly that we have a map attached, and it doesn't show zone 1, phase 1, or whatever that would be called. And so to me, we pass an ordinance, we say we allow golf carts. We have a map that shows basically citywide golf cart map, excluding, looks like, gated communities. I think that's unclear.
Well, what is clear, I would suggest, is that golf carts may only be operated where signs are posted allowing golf cart usage. And so that's where the state statute trumps our ability to do that without a study.
Yes, sir, I am.
Then I'm good. Thank you.
All right, everybody's made their comment.
Checked out.
I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt the golf cart ordinance as written.
Mayor, and it's a public hearing. We just need to open the public.
I got to open the public hearing. Okay. Public hearing, let's open the public hearing. Anybody got comments on the golf cart ordinance? Hey, Crip.
one question.
Good evening, my name's Jane Rayner. I live in Forest Oaks subdivision, which the golf cart ordinance won't affect us because it's off of Clark Road. My one question is, though, are riders in golf carts required to wear seatbelts? Is the flight attendant in me?
What was the question?
Golf, when you ride in your golf cart, do you have to have a seatbelt on?
Normally, they're not equipped with them, but you can modify them for them.
But it's not required?
No.
Oh, okay, that's all I want to know. Thank you.
Don't forget to fill that form out. All right, we have a motion. Anybody else in the public have any comments on that golf cart before I close the public hearing? All right, close the public hearing, bring it back. We have a motion by Commissioner Kendall here, second.
I'll second that motion.
Seconded by Commissioner Oliver. No more comments? Let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. All right, we're down to public hearing. We have any? None? Go to regular agenda. Item 19, update and request direction to city manager and city attorney regarding city consultants investigation, city's right of first refusal, and Forest Lake's request for approval of assignment related to city-owned property located at 10521 Clear Corner Road, Ocoee, Forest Lake Golf Course and Facilities. City Attorney Ardman.
I'm at the right spot, Mayor. Let me over here. Do you care? Mayor, Commissioners, Kurt Ardman with the Fishback Dominic Law Firm. Thank you very much for this. As you can see from your agenda packet, this is an update on the Forest Lake matter, and there are a few things we need to talk about. First, the update. It's pretty much summarized in your staff report. However, I would like to touch on just a few additional points for the update as to where we are. As you may remember, August 20th of this year, the commission voted 5-0 to deny the assignment of the ground lease from Forest Lake to JA Hospitality. Excuse me. The commission members commented on the importance of protecting the city's interest and the need for the lessee to provide financial data requested to properly evaluate the requirements within the ground lease. That's the essence of what we talked about at the last meeting on this topic. Pardon me for the hoarse voice. September 16th of this year, the lessee, through its law firm, sent the city a letter disputing the right of first refusal, right of first refusal expiration, and the lessee at that point provided an amended and restated agreement between Forest Lake and J Hospitality for J Hospitality's purchase of Forest Lake's interest in the lease. It extended the right of first refusal deadline that the city has. The city's right for that. After that, September 20th, 2024, the city issues its first notice of default to the lessee under the lease. Then on October the 16th, finally, after an extended period and request, the city received a box of documents from the lessee's attorneys, which are a portion of what was requested in request to the lessee, and documents that had been asked for by the city's consultant, ZHA, and Robert Ocoee, since I think November or December of last year. So October, we get a bunch of documents. Robert Ocoee's here today, so if you have any questions with respect to that issue and those documents, we can talk about that. Then November 7 of this year, 2024, the city staff and attorneys met with the owners of Forest Lake and their attorneys to discuss all matters related to the requested assignment. Because remember, Forest Lake asked the city commission to approve an assignment of their interest in the lease to J Hospitality. Also talking about the notice of default the city had sent to Forest Lake, and the parties agreed to extend the right of first refusal deadline at that meeting to December 5 of 2024. So it allows the city a continuing opportunity to evaluate the right of first refusal, issues with respect to the property, the default, and related matters. Also important at that meeting, Forest Lake agreed to allow the city and its consultants and attorneys to meet with JA Hospitality, the proposed assignee, which was important because we as a city did not want to interfere in the contract between Forest Lake and JA Hospitality, and so that was key. And Forest Lake and its attorneys did agree, and so following that on November 15th, and we advised Forest Lake at that meeting that there were further problems with the property that the city's consultants had found with the property, the operations and the like, and to expect that there would be a second notice of default. The city did send that notice of default second notice of default on November 15th, 2024, based on the inspections and the consultants that the city brought on to evaluate the property and operations. Then on November 19th, about 2 weeks ago, the city staff and attorneys met with JA Hospitality, its team, and its attorney to obtain financial information and other information and understanding of what JA's abilities were, their qualifications, and anything that we could as attorneys and staff and consultants for the city evaluate JA Hospitality as they are the requested assignee. So that brings us up to effectively today. So that's the update. So tonight, really two issues. It's a question of whether the city commission should approve the assignment of the lease of Forest Lake's interest in the lease to JA Hospitality, or deny that, and a question of the right of first refusal. The city has a right to step in and say to Forest Lake that the city would like to step into the shoes of JA Hospitality as a buyer and exercise a right to do that. We think it's important for the city to consider the JA's Hospitality's the questions of whether it should be approved or denied as an assignee first, and then we can talk about the right of first refusal. So I'm going to spend a few minutes, with Commission's permission, outlining the city attorneys, the city staffs, and the city's consultants' evaluation of JA Hospitality as the potential assignee. So what we did, and we did this as promptly as we could. A lot of this was very compressed time frame because we didn't know a lot of things without the experts' reports, without being able to talk to JA and get find out about JA Hospitality and information that we've been waiting on from Forest Lake. So, but this keys to the assignment. So we reviewed the information that we got from JA Hospitality and the meeting that we had with the CEO of JA Hospitality, Peter Watska, and his team on the November 19th meeting, about 2 weeks ago. We also looked at the obligations of JA as stepping into the shoes of Forest Lake under the lease as a potential assignee, and the risks to the city and the obligations and expectations for the operation and management of the Forest Lake Golf Course and the facilities, and found the following. So this is for your consideration. Collectively, we determined that we think that JA Hospitality has a lack of experience in golf course management and operations. Members of JA Hospitality do have experience in the hospitality industry, and JA has owned and operated hotels, but it has no direct experience managing or operating a golf course or maintaining treatment facilities. Number two, They have limited familiarity with the property's unique requirements. JA showed limited awareness of the specific conditions and challenges at the Forest Lake Golf Course and facilities. JA was unaware of the comprehensive issues that were identified by the city's consultants and inspection reports, which require significant investment. JA was unfamiliar with the stormwater reuse system that's integral to the golf course's operation and have not provided any plan to address the irrigation pond leakage or meet the need for reclaimed water, which is essential to the operation of the golf course of at least 450,000 gallons a day as a minimum if the city cannot supply that. Jay had no familiarity with the wastewater permit and the requirements associated with that as part of this lease operation associated with that permit. Jay was unaware of where the treatment water that flows into the pond on the property comes from, which is from the city of Winter Garden. And that's going to end. So the question posed to JA was, one, they didn't know that, and two, when that happens, what are they going to do? They have no backup plan. There's no backup plan by them. Clearly, JA's due diligence had failed to identify the majority of serious issues that were uncovered by the city and its consultants during the city's inspections on the course, which of course raised concerns about JA's attention to detail and its level of expertise in managing and operating a golf course. Third major point, inadequate financial planning for the required improvements. JA proposes reinvesting $1 to $2, potentially $2 million into the property, while the city's consultants estimate resolving the existing issues could cost between $10.6 and $14.8 million. Mr. Watzka said that JA would not be able to take on and handle this added expense, and it does not appear that JA is prepared or is able to meet the obligations under the ground lease. The current lessee, Forest Lake, is in default under the ground lease, although they have disputed that. And I got a letter this afternoon at about 3:03 from Forest Lake's attorney responding to the second notice of default. But for tonight's purposes, I'm not sure that's key. But the property is not in compliance, clearly, with the required operational and maintenance standards. As part of any approved assignment, the assignee would be obligated, so JA, step into the shoes of Forest Lake, would be obligated to bring the property into compliance. That would necessitate substantial financial investment up front. Mr. Watzka stated that JA is not willing to bear those costs, citing an intent to sell the property for profit within 7 years, and further underscoring concerns about long-term commitment to the property's improvement and operational success. Next significant point, lack of experience collaborating with municipal landlords. JA has not previously operated a property where a city acts as a landlord or a lessor, or involved in managing a public-private partnership, which requires navigating governmental processes, and so they lack that experience in dealing with governments. Next major point, uncertainty in strategic planning and execution. JA presented to your staff and attorneys and consultants its intended acquisition of this property as a first step in a broader plan to develop 30 to 40 golf courses, with this being the first initial one. However, JA's proposal demonstrates a lack of detailed preparation, insufficient understanding of the complexities involved in managing and operating a golf course. JA's pursuit of numerous golf properties at the same time, and I'll talk about that in just a minute, would dilute JA's ability to carry out needed work on the Forest Lake Golf Course. JA's plans to address the issues with the Forest Lake Golf Course is more conceptual than detailed, is insufficient given the scale and complexity of the challenges. And I'll talk about that in just a little more detail in a second. JA told the city that JA plans to have 15 golf courses operating in 7 years. That plan raises concern, which the conceptual plan did not provide meaningful details for the Forest Lake Golf Club, and they will not have the resources to properly address the pressing deficiencies at the club. Next major point, there was no comprehensive operational plan or cash flow projections. They did not provide an operational plan or cash flow projections necessary for evaluating the viability of Jay's proposal. Next major point, it's a small investment company. Jay admits it's a small family investment entity, which desires to now venture into golf, whereas the city needs a competent, experienced golf course operator, at least in the staff's position. So understand it's an investment. This is just one of other investments that Jay Hospitality carries out. Next major point, tangential golf course experience. We talked about that. Next one was long-term community commitment. Mr. Watzke indicated that Jay's plan for Forest Lake involves assigning the ground lease after 7 years. Our understanding, at least the staff's position, is that the city seeks an assignee with a long-term commitment to the golf course and the community, as frequent changes disrupt the continuity and require repeated burdensome vetting processes. Next major point, outsourcing the management. JA does not plan to directly manage the course, raising concerns about JA's accountability and adherence to the lease terms. They've not retained a third-party management company for the golf course. They mentioned one, but they have not retained one, and the city is unable to evaluate the suitability of any potential third-party management companies that Jay may or may not bring in. Next major point, unwillingness to share financial data before the assignment approval. Jay's reluctance to share financial information until after assignment approval underscore Jay's unfamiliarity with the municipal record requirements and prevents the city from understanding Jay's financial ability to become a new lessee. Plans for the future, as noted, I just noted, plans to own 30 to 40 golf courses in the future. Multiple properties now under contract may not receive the attention we need. Lack of comprehensive business plan. Jay has not submitted a business plan outlining short and long-term strategies, goals for revenue generation, operational efficiency, or marketing. They've not provided a 1, 3, or 5-year pro forma financial statements with revenue projections or a capital investment plan. Jay failed to submit cash flow projections segmented by business areas, which are critical for understanding operational and management viability and funding plans. There's no evidence of investor commitment. So we said, well, where's your money going to come from? They said that they expected to have 15 to 20 local limited partner investors, along with debt, to raise the $8 to $9 million that JA estimates would be needed for its purchase and for its proposed, I guess they said the $7 million for purchasing the interest that Forest Lake's interested in the lease, and potentially $2 million to invest in new things on the course, but not in dealing with the deferred maintenance issues the city's consultants have identified in the $10 to $15 million range. So they had no commitment letters from investors, and they not supplied letters of credit from financial institutions to demonstrate access to funding if needed. No tax returns, no bank statements from Good Lag Partners or JA. Gaps in assessing our ability as a city staff to evaluate the financial standing, net worth, and liquidity. They cannot commit to a par 72 course, which is what the property is. They want to change that, it appears, maybe. That's a concept. They're not sure where they want to go with that. And given these concerns that I've just outlined, including without limitation the lack of requisite experience, the resources, the understanding of the property's issues, approving the lease assignment at this time would pose significant risk to the city, including potential operational and management failures, unresolved compliance issues, and financial instability. That's what your staff attorneys and consultants have concluded. If you have any questions about the staff, the consultants' reports, Robert Utsey is here to talk about those, but the primary issue, I think, at this point is what the staff and the experts, by the way, have looked at these issues and understand that what's needed for the golf course. So they're golf course experts that Mr. Utsey has brought on for the city. So the question posed to the city at this point is whether to approve the request for the assignment or to deny the request for the assignment.
All right, commissioners, comments.
I'd like to hear him on the other side.
I would like
Well,
to hear,
I asked him first, he said that.
I would like to
Talk
hear
him.
the other side. I would like to hear.
Well, I am, but I asked him, he said let the commissioners have first chance. So, I'll open the public hearing, for the lawyer wants 10 minutes, he said, so you want to come on up?
Sure. Good evening, Logan Opsahl, 215 North Eola Drive. Thanks for letting us speak today. I want to start, you've been given a timeline. There's some dispute as to some of the details of it, but let's just say by and large, the major events, track. We have been able to meet with the city finally. Reference was made and before you that this process was going on for a long time, not just since June when the city was first informed of this purchase and sale agreement and this notice of assignment for the terms of the ground lease, but for years, right? I mean, we've had workshops over this. There's been previous inspections, I think 2, maybe more appraisals conducted by the city, some conducted by Forest Lake itself. And that was, of course, regarding the city potentially taking on the remainder of our ground lease, taking it back. And so, when we talk about information and how that's flowing, the documentation, I know we had discussed that at length. But much information has been provided. I think all the dispute prior was what that should look like. So a bit of a chicken and the egg. As a demand for documentation, we had a request for a meeting. When those two things finally met, documentations kept rolling. There was a lot of points brought up by Kurt just then. I will say since our meeting with the city, we have had very limited to no interaction with the city. We were unaware of the list that was provided just now. We were not provided a courtesy copy. I'm not sure that our proposed assignee has. And there's items in there that I think half of which we made a reference, a reasonable reference to the short time frame of them providing, JA Hospitality providing documents, as well as conversations that could have ensued between them. But I will say this, Robert Utsey's group, ZHA, we've briefly met. I find him, very nice and professional, and my client does as well. There have been, again, a lot of reports that have taken place over the years regarding Forest Lake. And to hear that it's called an investigation in the agenda, that was conveyed in that meeting, and a speculative analysis over what Forest Lake's going to do with some of the water that flows through the pond causes me some concerns about the about the efficiency of that meeting and the productivity of that meeting. So just to simplify it and put it back into scope, right? Because this is about the ground lease that we have with the city. And I think if we can erase the recent disagreements we've had, I think everyone in here can agree it's been a very successful relationship with the city. And we have a ground lease which affords us the right to assign our lease. And we have a ground lease which affords the city the right to exercise a right of first refusal or alternatively approve the assignment. And so that's what we're here for today. Reference was made to a default. We of course, flatly deny those allegations. All of previous inspections and report that were conducted, I think of important note, made no comment to some of the issues that were raised by the city. So I agree with Kurt. I think that's something, for another day. Certainly we're going to remain committed to working with the city to come up with a resolution to that, which we've discussed. But I want to make one more important point in conclusion, Mr. Mayor, because we're talking about the ground lease. And this is just simply because I hadn't done this in past meetings, and I just think it's important here. I'm just reading from the ground lease, just a few sentences, as we think through this process. This is 6.1B, and we've referenced it a lot. So, and this is upon receipt of a request from lessee, so that's Forest Lake, for approval of an assignment of this lease. And it's got some stuff in the middle here.
okay? Including for purposes of this section 6.1B only, a sublease of substantially the entire premises for substantially the entire term of the lease. But it's saying upon receipt of a request from Forest Lake for approval and assignment, I'm gonna keep reading, other than in connection with an assignment or other transfer in lieu of foreclosure, lessor shall have 60 days in which to exercise a right of first refusal by agreeing in writing to acquire lessee's leasehold interest created hereunder under the same terms and conditions as proposed by such prospective assignee. And so I think where we were previously was, here's this purchase and sale agreement, and the city has 60 days to decide whether they want to, as Kurt put it, step into the shoes of JA Hospitality. Now, it goes on to talk about looking into their experience, looking into their financial well-being, understand that's been looked into, and we remain committed to the fact that JA Hospitality meets those items, and I think they would be willing to continue conversations to have that, but when they hear things speculative, and they are shown inspections that had never before been done, that had on a property that had never before raised any issues. I've always paid rent on time and have always had a successful relationship with the city. I can appreciate the fact that they take pause in that. So, notwithstanding, I think all of this request is grounded in the ground lease, okay, and the rights that the city has and the rights that Forest Lake has, and I think consideration is owed to JA Hospitality as meeting those standards, and if not, the city's opportunity to exercise its right of first refusal under the terms that were presented. And I'm happy to answer any specific questions. I have Kurt and, I have the principals of Forest Lake. So we have Ken and George. This has been conveyed in previous correspondence. These two gentlemen have had a combined 98 years experience of designing and building golf course. That's a whole lot of experience. And some of the costs that you heard today are incredibly inflated. Kenny just informed me that he had just completed designing and building a golf course that was starting out with land that was inferior to Forest Lake for $9 million. So the notion that we need to put $12 million into a very successful golf course, we certainly take exception with. And those include speculative items like you got to replace the roof. Well, it's got plenty of life. You got to replace the entire irrigation system. Well, that's not true. It's in good working condition. You got to replace your personal property. You got to replace your equipment. You got to fix the stucco cracks. Now, we have a robust, ongoing maintenance program. And all of those items are under consideration. Certain improvements are being done now, many of which were subject to the city's latest correspondence with us. But as we move forward to these three items, and I've tried my best to keep them in the three separate buckets, I think it's very important to note that this is a successful golf course operation. And we know that because we have an active contract for $7 million for it, as an as-is bona fide third-party contract who's already conducted inspections of the property. And so I respectfully request you keep all those things into consideration as well. And I'm happy to answer any specific questions of the commission. Thank you for your time.
Commissioners, before I call up the other, you want to talk to anybody? I asked anybody had any comments to the gentleman. Not yet.
Not yet.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. First, we'll have Kenny Azell.
I'm going to defer to George first, if that's okay, Mayor.
Good afternoon. I'm George Clifton from DeLand, Florida, one of the owners and managers of Forest Lake Golf Course. Kenny and I had a conversation. It's an hour drive to get to the golf course. I have a lot of thinking time to do there and back. And this being the Christmas season, I was going back thinking about, do you remember the movie It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart? And he had some business problems and wished he had never been born. The angel came and gave him his wish. And it made me think about the golf course and what if Forest Lake was never born? What if Kenny took a different way home that day never saw the sign on the property that said City of Ocoee, future reuse disposal site. So he never had the idea to put the golf course out there. The city had budgeted $3.25 million to build this site. So they spent the money. So you got 200 plus acres of rectangles out there, retention ponds. You got that, now you got to maintain it. This is 32 years ago. So you figure you're going to have one or two guys, just figure one person. So you got, to maintain that site, you need a tractor, you're going to need a bat wing bush hog mower, probably a Z-turn mower to mow around the maintenance building that you're going to have to build. You're going to have a restroom and office for this gentleman. You've got city benefits. You got to pay all that, the phone, the power, the maintenance on the equipment. So you go through, say, $100,000 a year conservatively. So then you look at $3.25 million at just 5% interest. You're looking at $167,000 plus a year. Along with our lease, you're over $200,000 a year. With this maintenance situation you got with the ribs, you're over $300,000 a year. And you don't have a golf course now. You've got this blemished property. I'm not even thinking about the tax implications on the surrounding properties that you're able to garnish. So this is seed money that you got. You're getting over $300,000 a year. So the lease agreement is not that bad. And Rusty was there at the time. And I think y'all made a great decision. You've got a beautiful golf course now. It's helped the city. You've got the seed money with the $3.25 million. You don't even know if this building would be here now. So I just want you to think about where you came from. And thank you for your time.
I will make one quick comment. I will tell you that Lester Dabbs, Vern Combs, and myself thought about the golf course back when we got the land. That was one of the things we were going to do with the land. Then we went out and started looking for the people to build a golf course, George. So it wasn't Ken deciding about the golf course. It was Lester Dabbs, Vern Combs, and myself.
I'll let Kenny dispute that.
Well, whatever. We can talk all night about it. I can tell you that never heard anything else but what Lester said or Vern said, and we traveled with Jim Beach to all the different areas. Even went up to one of yours, Tomoka, or what was it? Tomoka up on Ormond Beach.
Oh yeah, Riverbend.
A long time ago. Yeah.
That's a good point because they had a lease agreement there that we were partners with them.
Yeah.
And we thought they had given up too much, and
Yeah.
now they're dog fennel. That course is closed now because they didn't have the reserve to do what they needed to do to keep the course going.
But
case in point is we're having to build a new golf hole, and that's going to be in the six figures.
Yeah.
Most people couldn't do that.
All right. Ken, Zell.
Ken Ezell. I used to live in Apopka and now live up at the Villages. I just wanted to say that we've had a wonderful relationship with the city of Ocoee. We spent 2 years trying to put everything together. Rusty, it was a difficult time back in 91, 92, 93. We finally got everything going. We have plenty of our family and our friends that are here that put up money. We're just a small little group. We've had the opportunity to build over 80 plus golf courses, 18-hole equivalent golf courses in our 35 years that we've been doing this. Ocoee was a pass-by at the time, and you may have been right. I was not familiar, but I did stop in and talk to the city manager at the time, Ellis Shapiro, and he said, I want nothing to do with the golf course, and we would like for somebody to take and come in. So my background was in distress management and building golf courses, designing them, and so we were afforded the opportunity to take and put this deal together, won the RFP, and we've been very, very happy for the whole time that we've been here. It's a win-win. It was a win-win from the start, and I would just like to say that I hate to see us right today create a lose-lose, and that's the way it looks to me like we're going. We love what we've taken and produced. We keep improving it day by day. We've got a great golf course superintendent. We've got a great golf professional. We have wonderful staff. Anybody that knows in the industry today, it's hard finding good people and keeping them. We've had a wonderful staff that has been there. My wife runs the books. George is there almost every day. I do most of the marketing. We've been very successful. And we came in 2018 and presented this the first time. We had a thing in 2020. COVID hit. We just kind of, everybody went off their separate ways. COVID came about. Golf became a very much more popular sport. It was an activity that everybody could take and enjoy outside, and they did. Our revenues went up. Our rounds have gone up. They've continued to go up. Our golf course is immaculate. You can't say it's immaculate, but I can tell you it's enjoyed by over 453 of your Ocoee residents and over 620 other associate members that we have. I've read through all these reports, and I know my time is up, but you know, we don't have 60,000 people coming and playing golf at Forest Lake, making the drive. I mean, and what we've done, in my opinion, for the city, with all the people that have taken and come in next to us, around us, we negotiated in good faith with you guys on the 429, the West Orange Trail, the expansion of Claricona Ocoee Road. We've been a good neighbor. We've watched over your property as if it was ours, or more so. And, you know, we just want to take and have a fair deal with somebody, and we don't feel like we're being fairly treated at this point.
All right. Mr. Comber, you want to talk? Okay. All right. I'm going to close the public hearing, bring it back up to the dais. All right. Commissioners. Go ahead, Commissioner Oliver. You said you had something you wanted to say. I'm calling on you.
I'm still writing some notes down. Go ahead.
I don't know, do you want to go first?
What's the question? Are we, I mean, I think it's pretty cut and dry, frankly. Listen to all sides. I'm a no. Beyond that, I don't understand. I'm not a lawyer, but I don't know how you assign a lease that you're in default of. And I didn't hear one tangible argument, one fact from your attorney. Frankly, I can't tell whether he's representing you or JA. Is there somebody from JA here? Is there somebody from JA?
You have to come to the podium. You can't talk from this.
You repeated what you repeated the first time, which I don't understand, which is why you're representing that JA is capable and financially viable to, you're not responding to his comments about the findings of JA, but you're disputing them. So do you have information that hasn't been provided? Because we've been down that track already.
Yep, I am Forest Lake's attorney.
Okay.
My understanding is that your city attorney met with JA Hospitality once. That was the only correspondence they've had.
Okay.
So
once isn't enough to ask a man if he has $10 million of financing?
Well, it sounds like there was a whole lot of items in there that could have been helpful outside of one meeting. Keep in mind, this has been on the radar of the city for 5 months. And you know, there's been plenty of opportunity to meet, and it hasn't occurred until one time, and that's when that exhaustive list of things I hadn't even heard of before.
I'll ask you again. I don't understand your point. I'm being honest and sincere with you. What is your point that they only met one time? Why isn't that enough to ask a man, do you have financing? The answer is no, we don't have financing. Why isn't that enough?
Did we hear that today, Commissioner?
He said, he asked if they had capital for the improvements.
Okay, well, they can't consummate the sale of our contract without them. So they have representations in that agreement that they do. I was not a party to, Forest Lake was not a party to that meeting. As Kurt said, we wanted them to meet and have that discussion.
So again, I'll ask the same question I asked the first time. If you're not representing JA, why are you arguing or disputing a right of JA to have more than one meeting to address his and the staff's recommendation that they don't have the finance?
I want to be very clear. I represent Forest Lake. And
got it.
Forest Lake has a purchase and sale agreement for the assignment of their lease to JA Hospitality. So certainly we have a vested interest for that meeting to go successful. I do not represent JA Hospitality. I can't provide you their confidential or financial information for JA Hospitality, but I can offer, I think is reasonable, that continued meetings or ongoing conversations over the course of these past 5 months may have armed you, Commissioner, with the information you need to make the decision today.
Good. Okay. Isn't there a dispute that you also haven't provided your own financial information? Aren't we still missing financial information that you're unwilling to provide?
We have provided close to 2,000 pages of documents, of which includes financial information, Commissioner.
Okay. Have we received, who do I ask this question? At the last meeting, you were requesting financial information that was not provided. Has all the information requested?
Not all, but a lot. Commissioner, and our consultant, Robert Utsi, has received that and evaluated. But the question for tonight is not about Forest Lake. Ken and George and their counsel have talked about their condition. That's not the question. The question is, right now, for the commission, do you approve the assignment that's been requested to JA Hospitality? So it's about really JA Hospitality.
Exactly, and that's what I don't understand.
Sure, Commissioner, I agree with
why
you.
Why their or their attorney isn't here, and why you are, and why you're speaking or defending their interest.
Well, Commissioner, I'm only here on behalf of Forest Lake, and I want to be very clear. I have received zero correspondence from the city following that meeting. So I'm hearing a lot of this for the first time. I have not been given a copy of that to respond to. And if I was provided a copy, I would send it to JA Hospitality's counsel to respond to. But I agree with something Kurt just said, because it's clear. It's on the agenda. That's what we're here for. The city has two items for consideration. It's approval of the assignment or a motion to move forward with the right of first refusal.
Okay.
Mayor, Commissioner, one other point. I was talking to our folks here that are on the team. We did provide JA Hospitality with a copy of the second notice of default. Presumably, they already had the first notice of default, and invited them to provide us any response that they may have to that. We've not received any follow-up from JA Hospitality since that meeting. So they did not indicate one way or the other whether they were aware of that second notice of default when we gave it to them that had already been given to Forest Lake. So I can't tell you. We didn't call JA Hospitality up after the meeting and say, by the way, are you going to give us any more information? How are you going to deal with this? What about these points? They told us what they told us. They gave us what they gave us, and we've used that and gotten nothing beyond what we got at that meeting and before that meeting, even though they had the opportunity to provide it.
Do they know that we're being asked to approve them as an assignee, and were they given the
It's on the notice. We did not send specific notice. I presume Forest Lake and JA are communicating, and they knew about it, but it's up to them to and Forest Lake. It's their deal, and we're in it as the city, as the owner lessor, to either approve or deny the assignment, and then we can talk about the RFR.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Kurt, I'm going to probably focus on this.
Yes, ma'am.
I go back to the lease that we looked at months and months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and there were some things in there I didn't like that.
You mean the purchase and sale agreement, the first one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So starting from that point, then moving forward, you have this saying, the fear of the unknown, and there's a lot of unknown here. and this is the concerns I have, there's no business plan. They won't provide their financials till after. They don't know anything about the ground lease. And please correct me if I'm misstating from what you had told.
I think they know about the ground lease. I think they don't know much about some of the defects and defaults that we found.
Permit, the particulars that
Correct.
regard, and I would think they would know that if they were.
That's what we thought too.
That, to get an assignment. This question that I had, they plan to sell the property in 7 years. Well, they can't sell something that we own. They plan to sell the golf course off, and
They could do just what
Business.
Forest Lake's trying to do, is assign the lease and sell their interest. Get it making more money and flip it.
Well, that's what, when you said this, I wrote this and I thought, how are they going to sell something that belongs to the residents of the city of Ocoee? What stands in my mind a lot is that they plan to open 30 and 40 golf courses. This is the first, but they're not giving us any information, and they have these grandiose plans that they're presenting to you, but they haven't even started the first one. And then when you don't come into a business plan, I can hear my husband asking my daughter for a business plan when she was, 15 years old. How are you going to plan something? But we're doing much bigger here, and I would think you'd have to have a business plan and financials to back that business plan up. And I'm talking something in my own family, but then you're looking at something much larger. And this, I don't know, I'm just not comfortable in allowing my residents' property to be given assignment. To me, it's very casual. This is not firmed up. I would want more information. There's just too many negatives here.
Understand.
All right, Commissioner Fershner. Is JA Hospitality aware that this meeting is taking place tonight?
I spoke with the counsel for JA Hospitality yesterday. That was our first correspondence since the meeting with the city. Along with what Kurt said, he did say that the second default letter, which we, again, flatly deny the allegations therein, were provided to him. There was the speculative information about the lack of water that would go into the pond. And quite frankly, to Commissioner Wilson's point, he conveyed to me voluntarily, that perhaps we need to work with the city on those items. So again, I think when we're talking about information that they may or may not have conveyed, that happened after this default. So I can't speak to JA Hospitality, but to answer your question squarely, my understanding is they were made aware about it through our conversation yesterday.
Aware of this meeting?
Yes.
I would assume that they would be, being that they're a principal in this multi-million-dollar deal. What I don't understand is are they so unconcerned that they're going to be successful in this that they didn't even need to have representation here at this meeting to discuss some of these issues? I think Mr. Arterman was pretty clear as far as, the background checks that went on. And I understand your point of view and Forest Lake's point of view and everything, but you've told me nothing to dispute any of those claims as far as their viability, their solubility, their management ability, nothing. I'm sorry, but I think that's a poor showing on their part. Forest Lake is here because they have an interest in this. So do they. But they apparently couldn't even take the time to come here and talk to us tonight about it. Okay.
One of the first questions I had as I'm listening to the conversation was, I would like to hear from JA Hospitality. Actually, when we first started the conversation or discussion, that was one of the first things I wrote across the top of my paper. I want to hear from JA Hospitality, as we've heard from Forest Lake, and we understand your position. So that was one of the first questions I had. The next question I have is for the attorney. could this be considered a quasi judicial hearing right now?
No, this is a contract matter. This is not
Contract
a,
matter. Okay, but not. Okay, perfect. It seems to me that JA Hospitality is derelict in their responsibility to this whole discussion. They're not here. I tend to agree with the other commissioners that they are a principal in this, again, this multi-million-dollar deal, and they have failed to show, which shows me that there's a gross neglect on their part to even consider this, to be serious about what we're trying to consider here. There are several issues that we're dealing with here when it comes to JA Hospitality, Forest Lake, and the city. We have issues of, for one, there was a prompted conversation about this assignment or possible assignment probably long before 2018. That was a conversation that was had. Where are we going with this golf course? What's going to happen with this golf course? That's neither here nor there at this point. But there was also a right of first refusal that the city is involved in according to the lease agreement that we have right now. There's a wastewater management violation that we're dealing with as well. There was an executed agreement that was presented to the city by Forest Lake and JA Hospitality. How can you execute an agreement without giving us our first right of refusal to even determine if this is a true evaluation? So
That agreement was conditioned on your rights.
Okay, because I was reading that it said it was executed.
It was executed. It could not be closed. It was subject to the right of first refusal condition.
Correct. We couldn't ratify it at all because we had not exercised our right of refusal. So we also
That's correct. It couldn't close unless you exercise your right of if you exercise your right of first refusal. That's correct, Commissioner.
correct. So we also have a lease. We're looking at valuation of this particular business that runs our golf course. There seems to be some I'm not, for lack of a better term, let's say misunderstandings, or let's say difference of opinions when it comes to valuations. And valuations, I mean, it can be as simple or as complex as we need it to be, but just getting down to brass tacks, the valuation should have simply been the sales price divided by the lease, but divided by the sales, could have gave us at least a base value, and we can't seem to come to those terms in the whole issue here. There's a lot of issues that we're dealing with here, and the fact that JA Hospitality is not here it just really perplexes me. And finally, we have, with these different opinions as to how we evaluate this versus how we look at it as far as the city is concerned, we have a fiduciary duty to the citizens of Ocoee to make sure that if we were to agree upon a company taking on that assignment, that company or that organization will actually sign an agreement with us long term. We want to establish relationships. The relationship that we have with Ken and George right now has been a long-term relationship. It wasn't that they came in and said, we're going to buy into a lease here and then we're going to just sell it off. They've been around for a while. So 25 years. They've been around. So that's been a relationship. And now I'm hearing things about one company coming in to possibly create a cash cow, sell it off, and who knows what we're going to get. And now we're held accountable to the citizens and say, now we have a subpar golf course because we sold in to a company that came in and want to turn us into a cash cow and then move on to someone else that may create a subpar playing conditions on our golf course. So with that being said, I just cannot, in good conscience, agree with anything until there's something solid on the table, a buyer that's coming to the table with a true valuation that we can all agree upon, even if we have to go to arbitration, if we have to go to an arbitrator, take it to an arbitrator to say, hey, this is what it's truly worth based on the information that we have. So with that being said, I just cannot agree with this assignment at this point. Just can't.
Well, Commissioner, I appreciate your thoughts.
Too many moving parts and too many unknowns.
Yeah, I appreciate your thoughts, and I certainly echo and agree to the long-term successful relationship of Forest Lake and the city. And, although I wasn't privy to this meeting, again, that there's a gap in my understanding of what transpired with J Hospitality. Your point's well taken about Forest Lake's healthy relationship with the city and certainly what we're focused on. So thank you for your thoughts.
The meeting with the J Hospitality, I was attended because I was the mayor and I was involved in it. We tried to, they never would have just adhered to having a meeting before, and they had to finally call the lawyers and talk to their lawyers to get them to agree to come to the meeting. So that's how we got about that, was they finally gave them permission, they'd come talk. But I will tell you, sitting and listening to the gentleman, they have no interest in what they've done. It's about what they want to do to turn the money and turn the golf course and move on again. That was the whole sitting there. When he was hit with some of the stuff, he just sank in a chair. All he was wanting to do is change the golf driving range around to a moneymaker with lights and change the order, and then change some of the golf holes around to where he can make it a par 70, not a par 72. But that was some of the things. And first of all, they never turned in. We never got one iota from them of the money part, financials. They put in to buy the golf course and pay them $7 million, but not one iota of what they were going to do, or not even their finances to tell us what they could do. And so that's where it all come to. And we do have a choice. It's our land. We have a lease with them over the last 30, I guess it's 30 years now. I think it's 30 years.
You're up to 33, Mayor.
I was there the day we dug the dirt with them. I know exactly how long it's been. But I'll tell you that there is problems that has to be taken care of. But this company is not the one to do it. Honestly, they're not. And you could tell it with that gentleman that day, talking to him. It's family, which is nothing wrong with the family part. And the other guys, he's trying to form 15 guys to do that. But they're going to pay $7 million out, but they're not going to spend any money to fix the place. There is problems in some of the buildings and stuff like that. Whether it be 10 million, 12 million, or 15 million, there's problems that has to be addressed.
It's not in the millions, Mayor, I'll tell you that, but yes.
Listen, I can tell you, the cost of construction now, it is a little more than what we think it is. But I'm just telling you, these guys are not the ones, and that's the whole point. We're talking about J Hospitality. Not against them, but against J Hospitality. So that's the point. So that's the whole thing. So we're going to have to make a decision. So we've each one of us has made our talk. So now we get to bring it up to the vote. You got anything else?
No, Mayor, yeah, you're right. It's an appropriate time for a motion to approve or deny the assignment.
All right.
Mayor, just one comment. Commissioner, you brought up that we're in violation of something. We're not aware of anything that we're in violation of. We've not been notified of anything relative to the wastewater. You brought that up. I have no idea what you're talking about. We are sent the water and we distribute it. And we've done a very good job of that. We were supposed to take and put out 1.25 million initially, and we've dropped. I'm just saying.
No, I got to stop you. I didn't approve to come up there, and we're not talking about you tonight. Remember what we just said. We're talking
but it was brought up that we are not in violation of something. I just want to make sure that everybody knows we are not in violation. We've not received anything from the wastewater.
You got to sit down. All right, back to us. All right, we need a motion. You need to read off.
I'll make a motion to deny the assignment to JA Hospitality. And I have one question, if I may, to clarify. The last time we did this, we made the motion without prejudice. Based on the due diligence that you provided, is that appropriate, or what would you advise?
You could do it just straight without adding with or without prejudice. Okay. Just a denial's fine. If you want to say with prejudice, that's fine. I'm not sure it's that significant, frankly.
Well, I think the last time it wasn't qualified, and I think this time it is.
Okay. With prejudice, then.
I would say with prejudice.
All right. I had a motion from Commissioner Kennedy. Do I hear a second?
I'd like to second that motion. Also, just a brief comment about compliance. The document stated that we have related permit compliance issues. I've heard the word out of compliance. So, again, every document I've received have actually alluded to the word of compliance and being out of compliance as it pertains to the water permit or the actual wastewater permit.
All right. All right. Motion seconded by Commissioner Oliver. Any more comments from commissioners?
The only aspect we're looking at tonight is the assignment.
That's what we just said.
I know, I just clarified,
Yeah.
nothing else.
That's on the table. I would like to address the right of first refusal after the commission votes.
All right. No more comments. Let's vote. Motion carries unanimously.
Mayor, Commissioners, with respect to the right of first refusal, I think it probably, based on the denial of the assignment, is moot, the right of first refusal. But if it is not moot for some legal reason, we believe that the right of first refusal is really not effective because it's, as I think Commissioner Oliver said, it's a fully executed contract. I mean, a PSA, it's not a proper offer by JA to Forest Lake that the city could elect to accept. To the terms and conditions of that contract that was in the request for assignment cannot be met. 3, the lessee is in default of the lease. Number 4, terms and conditions, if exercised by the city of that, what they claim would be the right of first refusal, which I'm not sure exactly what it would be, are not the same terms and conditions as offered by JA Hospitality. There's no need to act on that, I think, at this point, because I think it's moot with the denial. But just to put, I mean, it's a hanging question out there, and the lease is a little unclear about how you deal with that right of first refusal. But that's our belief about the right of first refusal. So it's really a non-issue for tonight at this point. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. That's time for comments from the commissioners. All right. Commissioner Forstner.
No, I have no comments.
Commissioner Wilson.
Always have something to say, don't I?
Yep.
The four-way stop at Montgomery and Orlando Avenue is now in operation. Please be mindful. There's enough signs out there. There's barricades, but I've already had my first person tell me that someone just sailed through it this morning at 6:15 without stopping. So we don't want an accident. Please be careful there. I know that the one on Adair has been in operation for a few months now, and so I haven't heard much, should I say, problems with that. So I'm kind of hoping that we'll move along with Montgomery and Orlando Avenue without any issues. Please mark your calendar for December 14th for the Jolly Jamboree, which will be happening outside right here on Bluford in front of City Hall from 3 to 8. Fun activities, please come down and join us. I guess we have never congratulated Mr. Moyer. Mr. Moyer, you have won the election regarding the supervisor of soil and water. We have to call him supervisor, I guess, after January, because that's when he was on the ballot and he won, so congratulations. You're welcome. And Craig, if I can just ask you just to announce there's a meeting coming up that, if you don't mind?
Not at all, Commissioner. On Tuesday, December 10th, we will be holding information sessions here in the chambers regarding staff's denial of 2 development applications. One, which was from a developer, Ocoee Gateway LLC, for a project submitted under the Live Local Act, which included 22 apartment buildings supplying 542 units of multifamily apartments. And the other is also part of the same development, and it was for a 130 dwelling unit multifamily apartment complex. And the general area is the southwest corner of Clark and White Road. And so we are under notice for request for relief under the Florida Land Use and Environmental Dispute Resolution Act, or also known as FLUDRA. And so these information sessions are to educate the public on what the process is for these decisions and what the Fluter process is about. And I don't know if the attorney wants to add anything to it, but let me reiterate, it's Tuesday, December 10th, here in the chambers, and we're going to have 3 sessions from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m., from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m., and from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. And again, I want to reiterate, this is, because there's a lot of misinformation going around, city staff denied these 2 applications. This is a developer appeal process under a state procedure, and it's kind of a quasi mediation, arbitration, appeal hearing. And the city commission will be asked to sit in a quasi judicial manner, and therefore staff is holding these information sessions in an effort to insulate the commission so that they can hear evidence from both sides and deciding whether to overturn staff's decision or not.
Let me just jump in if I could. There is a vested rights determination that is coming before the commission as to the first application under the Live Local Act. The Fluter proceeding is actually separate before a special magistrate, and we will try to give as much clarity as we can during all 3 of these information sessions. You would only need to attend 1, but we're trying to accommodate as many people's different schedules as possible.
Well stated.
Thank you.
Thank you, I'm finished. That was.
Commissioner Oliver?
Yes, just like to get a brief update from the city manager regarding Clark Road. If you can just.
Yes, sir.
Briefing on that, please.
Spoken with Public Works, and we are still well on track, finished by the end of the year.
Okay.
Finished, done.
Done. All right, awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Aren't they using part of it?
Yes, we are. We're actually, our new traffic patterns, we're actually using part of it now, the paved part of it now. So it's coming along.
Yeah.
It's coming along. So we're happy to see that, and we'll be even happier when it's done.
Our city engineer, Mylan Womack's done a really good job of managing this project.
Absolutely. I don't have much else, but I do have one thing I actually wanted to read, and I was kind of compelled to read this, and not sure why, who it's for. Maybe for me, I don't know, but I'm going to read this. It's called "The Lord is my light and my salvation." The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is my stronghold, the stronghold of my life. Whom should I be afraid? When evildoers assail